Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test account, and that is right, the Draconic Resurgence patch is up. We're going to run through here, see all of the crazy things that are here. This popped up as soon as it patched. It actually patched around 200 megs. So Spring Jubilee is here. Let's go ahead and collect this. And you can see it is saying to tap Ram Horn. Right there, the massive giveaway is going on. So let's see what we get with this new patch, exactly what it is going to bring. So let's go ahead and tap there and look at that. So this is where they put the Dragon's Refuge. It is great, and it looks like they moved the oak in or the whale in over. An island has emerged in the distant sea territory. Let's go check out the Dragon's Refuge. And there we go. It turns out it's legendary dragon island. Let's explore what secrets it holds. The dragon trials are on. Take on the trials to get a ton of rewards. Tap to enter. And it looks like Mariel is going to go ahead and pull us through here. And this almost looks like all the dragon trials they did similar to what we have before. So I mean, this is going through almost like the battles before that we see with Fantastic Beasts and everything. Our opponent is rearing to go. Let's hurry to get our formation in order. And it looks like it is Rigby over here, guys. Let's see what we have in here. Seems like there's a special force on the battlefield awaiting to be activated. In Dragonforge Trials, we have to deploy Draconis heroes in order for our team to play to their full strength. Let's use the strategy for our formation. So here is the dragons, which we do not have any of them yet. If it says we have to go ahead and do them, enemy details, path number 1, there we go. I'm wondering if, because if it says we have to use them, do we really have to use them? Or is it just not going to give us any battle points? Or we're just going to get absolutely crushed in here. That's weird it took us here and didn't give us any dragons. Is this just going to be like a defeat? Yeah, then we can try it again. All right, so first completion rewards, there we go. So that is what we're looking to get. Draconis Scrolls, use the scroll at the Wormcrest Spire. Once you have accumulated 10 of them in order to draw 10 Draconis heroes. So there are the heroes that we can get, guys. I want to run through here and see. So what is the objective? 40, 60, 80 battle points in there. You can deploy one allied team on each position. If there are multiple enemy teams on a single position, then the allied team will engage in a last survivor battle. So again, very similar to what we see with Fantastic Beasts. Each team will deploy their team leader to stand on the trial battlefield. Well, in a real battle, it is team versus team. Faster you can defeat enemies in each battle trial, the more points you will earn. The higher your points, the higher your battlefield star rating. First time you reach 3 stars on a floor, you'll receive generous rewards. Before battle begins, you can view the enemy details to figure out a suitable formation. So this is going to be, I mean, just like climbing a tower. And I wonder if, there we go, the path 1 we did fail. And we see the enemy details. All right, so this is the battle itself. Now let's see some of the things that we have here. So in here we do have our Dragonborn stamps acquired from Dragonforge Trials. Dragonforge stamps can be exchanged for rewards in the Dragonforge. And then the threat emblem, a destructive emblem that emanates fear and hatred used to activate or enhance Draconis signature items. Ooh, so that means we might not be able to use the current red chests we have, which would be kind of bad because I saved a ton of them on the YouTube account, but this might be a different item. And looking down here, then we get into, there are the plus 40. So once we get to the 30, moving up to the 40, the scaled threat emblem, and that is what we're pulling out of here for progression. Leaderboard, we got a couple people here. There we go. They're clearing through the stage, which is awesome to see. All right, so Dragon Horn, what is this? Please select the attribute to upgrade. So this is where we're using those items. The maximum level of non-Draconis heroes is raised to 290. So this kind of seems like the Spire, the Lost Spire. Go in here and build these up, and it looks like you're doing it for all of the heroes in here. You receive Ember Scales when you acquiring an Elite Draconis hero or an Elite Draconis hero ascending a new tier. Dragon Horns are remnants of the Ancient Dragon. They help Dragonforge trial participants cope with Draconic suppression. Dragon Horns increase the ability cap for non-Draconic heroes in Dragon form trials rather than directly increasing their ability. Dragon Horns only work on non-Draconis heroes. The ability of the Draconis heroes will not be suppressed by Draconic power in the Dragon Forge. Okay, so this is going to be a way, again, this is going to give us the ability to level up all of the heroes that are non-draconic within here to make them really being able to compete where they're at. Let's look at the Dragon Forge. There we go. So there is a hero, guys. Acquire 60 soul stones to summon Polina. So there is Polina, and of course it's going to be some of these Dragon Forge trials. But there is our summons, like we talked about, and there, of course, is the Dragon Heart trial. These are the ones that are used to summon, I guess, the stronger dragons. At this point, we're going to have to see because those are the cards versus the scrolls. Then, of course, the red chests. Open and choose a reward. There's our symbols. There we go. So there's our regular engraving mats. And then, of course, it's just more summons down here. Now, let's look at more, which is the rewards out of there. All right, so we got a lot of stuff coming with those Dragon Forge trials. Let's check out the Pagodia. There is a wish list. So, guys, look at the 3 dragons we have. Oh, we're going to have to go through and see exactly what they look like. So, yeah, so here is the summoning, and we use diamonds. Guys, let's knock this out of the park with some diamonds wish list. And we have no one else that we can do in here. But this account over here on the test server has a lot of diamonds. Let's see our probabilities here. Elite Highborn, 0.1% for the Highborn dragons. Elite, rare, and common. Wow, so we're going to have a lot. And then, of course, the temple. This is what uses the scrolls that we have been accumulating. Overall, and again, there is the hero that is not set. Let's set our hero. And there's the... Wow, so they are coming in at legendary, which we know that is Gwen, that is Hildwin. And then we have 3 other down here. So I'm going to look for Gwen in here. We have 8 right now. That is awesome that we have our own summons in here. And then, of course, down here, oh, it's giving us kind of the same thing. I think that's what we get out of the regular summons to do these. Now, of course, like I said, we're gonna have to have a lot of diamonds. This is gonna be very, very big. And of course, there's our new cards. 1, 2, 3. We got what, 4 blues in there. We're gonna have to see how we level them up. But there we go, shining crystal. I mean, we're getting something good in here. Blue, no. I'm wondering if the pity is still at 65. There is a purple. There we go. So who did we get? Nyla. So Nyla, we have the Draconis, we have intelligence, we have support, hero, and control. Very, very cool. So there is the new hero. Of course, we get some more diamonds. They added 5, I believe that is 5 new heroes to AFK Arena, guys. We thought 1 or 2 were a lot. Try getting 5 new heroes out of here. This is going to be crazy to see the hero. So now at least in here we have a hero to actually battle. I got to look at how to level these guys up or how to essentially build them. There is another copy of Nyla. And a whole nother summoning system. Now this worries me for a couple different reasons. And there we go. So who do we get? Polina, which there we go. It is a ranger, agility based ranger with continuous damage. Wow, we're gonna have to go through some of these skills, see exactly where these heroes are going to be used. I want to see, nope, no legendary there. But what did we get? All right, so we got pretty much the same thing. We picked up the hero coins. We picked up some essence. We also did get the ability to build out some signature items. So out of here again, it's just going to be probably an insane amount of summons. And then of course in here we put in Gwen. Let's see if we can get hero slotted. Your hero slots are at maximum capacity. You can ascend your hero's ascension tier, free up space. Not sure exactly what. Oh, maybe I don't have enough room is what I'm thinking. Yeah, 45. There we go. I was caught off guard with that for a minute, but there we go. So Dragon's Refuge. All right. So let's go. Oh, it's not. Yeah, there we go. So let me see. So it was just saying that we were full. See if we look at that animation. And it is 24 chests. Wow. Is that 24? Or is it just 1? I think that might be bugged. I think this might just be one of these. There we go. We got some of those threat emblems. Can we get a copy? There's one of the more rare ones. So at least we're getting something out of here we can use. I want to look at the probability. What do we got? We got diamonds in there. There we go. So threat emblems, scaled emblems, and then the reward chest. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty good way to farm up some of those emblems. I will definitely take that. So essentially, this is pulling red chests or pulling the elite chests out of here. But unfortunately, nothing to, which actually this just takes regular diamonds. What if we can get anything else? It looks like it's just, as you see these with Draconis Warriors, it's just recycling them. So we probably have it set in the rickety card just to recycle them. There is Gorge. Let's save that one. And I'm wondering if we can do and build like a Draconic team. I want to see what the level ups for these guys look like. Because again, there is a massive, massive amount of content in here. All right, so didn't get enough to get another one, which again, that's just kind of the recycle. All right, let's look at the Worm Scale Sanctuary. Amber scales are unique scales shed by dragons during the growth. Tap to collect them. There we go. What do we get? 1, 2. Worm Scale Sanctuary is engraved through the history of the legend of the Draconis. Tap to rewind. So used one of those. Attribute upgrade. DSA, DSR, HP, attack, and defense. This upgrading everybody, because we got one more. Again, gave us a lot more attributes right there. You receive Amber Scales when you acquire an Elite Draconis hero, or when your Elite Draconis hero ascends to a new tier. Worm Scale Sanctuary chronicles the history of the legend of the Draconis. Amber Scales can be used to restore legends and level up the Worm Scale Sanctuary. The attributes of the Sanctuary apply to all heroes, so it is not just the Draconis heroes. After each Dragonstone is completely rewound, it will unlock a video of the legend of the dragon. Wow, so we are going to go ahead and build this up quite a bit as we're going through here. I'm wondering, so is that all that we have in the Dragon Refuge? Dragon Trials, again, we can go in here and see if we can make actually some progression. But as you can see, they said there was updates to this this place itself. So I know we also do have a new beast that I want to look at. There is a lot that is going on in here. There we go. So there are the skills. We'll get a couple more summons out of here. Yeah, there's another 8 summons, which essentially those are Stargazer scrolls at this point. The last of the client's clues. As you can see, we've been kind of building out our dragon raid here. All done. I wonder what the dragon really is. I wish him the best of luck. There's our dragon, so we get another 10 out of there. Let's see again if we can get a copy of Gwen. But Temple of Ascension, yeah, they are here. There we go, guys. There is all of those copies. So it looks like it's going to be the same Elite, Elite to Elite Plus. Wonder what we're doing with all of the other ones. So all of these guys in here. Smart Ascension, there we go. They're going to Elite. And I think these are just going to be the legendary fodder we get before. There is our Elite Plus. We can use these. These are the food. These are essentially the food, which I want to look at them first. Because this would essentially take to legendary. Yeah, so it is going to be. And it almost looks like that it's almost got like a pacifier in her mouth, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, let me see what the summons, if we can get anything else in here with a couple more. Sanctuary, there we go. So we got one more for building her up, which I don't think it gave me any. Let's see, a couple more summons in here. I want to check out the new dragons. I know we went through 2 last time. But let's see if we can get a copy out of here with Gwen. So what did we get? Just some more. Then again, this is just one chest, even though it says 24, but just a couple more items to level up signature item. Now again, I don't know if this is going to be a 65 pity timer like we see normally with our Stargazer. I'm sure it probably is. I would be shocked if it wasn't. That same, but it looks like we're not having much luck at all pulling a copy of Gwen. Nope, nothing but the Worm Crust. All right, let's look at the heroes themselves over here. Because I know there's a couple things. There's a new voyage. There's a lot of things going on right now. But let's look at these heroes. Now, of course, there is the new. Yeah, so there he is. And I love him. He looks cute. It's like a tiny tank like we've seen before. Look at him. Oh, that is really, really cute. Got his mushroom in his book. He's all ready to go. All right, so there's the two that we're recycling. This is the one essentially that we're using for food. And then here are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is right, guys. It is 5 new Draconis heroes in here. Wow, that is absolutely awesome looking. And again, it does look like an awakened hero, which there's Hildwin, there's Gwen. Gwen looks just stunning. Looking at Nyla, and all the arenas are up for these. Ulina, and there's Casas. Again, this one's a tank, so Casas is a tank. Wow, let's run through this, guys, because again, we already seen Hildwin, but we didn't have any of the stats. We didn't have exactly what it is. So Searing Wind Weather, when he enters the battlefield, he summons the 3 magic circles. Every magic circle launches fireballs every 6 seconds. Wait a minute. Flaming magic circles, yeah, so fires every 6 seconds. Shifts into a dragon form, summoning tornadoes of arcanic flames in the center of the battlefield that deal damage to all enemies. So again, similar to Ain's going to hit everyone like the awakened version of Belinda. Flaming magic circles cause flame to rain down from the sky, dealing dragon speak damage to all enemies. The flame energizes the magical circles, reducing the attack frequency and increasing the power of the next 3 fireballs. That could be just absolutely crazy. Draconic Flame pull enemy towards the center, so now it's got kind of like a crowd control. Start of the battle, he changes the atmosphere to a state of magical disruption, causing all intelligence-based heroes, excluding himself, to be unable to perceive magical elements, reducing the damage they deal by 10%. So again, kind of a support hero. Additionally, each time Hildwin uses his ultimate, damage is further reduced by 5%, up to a 20% reduction. Energy recovery rate of all enemy intelligence-based heroes is reduced by 30%. That all intelligence-based heroes. I wonder if that means on both sides of the battle itself. So Flaming Snare, normal attacks will prioritize the enemy with the smallest angle relative to himself. After Hildwin lands 2 consecutive attacks, they become ensnared in flames. Crowd control right there. Immobilize for 1 second and take damage. Then, of course, it goes up to 2 seconds with some more damage. The Magma Slam. He gathers power, slams the earth with his staff, causing the ground to collapse beneath the furthest enemy. The enemy takes damage equal to 320% of the attack rating. Knocked in the air. At the same time, all of the enemy's shields are removed, and they cannot get another one for 3 seconds. Then the stun goes up further. After energizing or entering the battlefield, he'll prioritize triggering skill effect on the enemy opposing him. So again, similar to like an Athalia, that is going to target one specific hero on the other side. After using an active skill, Hildwin additionally selects the nearest enemy as the target for the skill. Then, of course, the Arcane Insight has a profound understanding of all of the world's magic. For every strike of damage he takes from an enemy hero. So if he's taking damage, I could see him with Ulna possibly putting him front. From the same skill will reduce by 10% up to a maximum of 40% every 12 seconds. In his ally with the highest or lowest health percent will gain a shield of the attack rating for the duration of the shield. Damage reduction from the skill will be increased by 20%. Within 2 seconds of being a shield, he is immune to control effects. Allied heroes with shield will share his knowledge and gain the damage reduction effect. So again, kind of a support hero. Gains the knowledge from lessons of other. When allied heroes receive damage from enemy heroes, knowledge increases up to a maximum damage reduction of this skill to 60%. Wow, that is crazy. There is the Lord of Ashes. So normal attack power is increased to 180. 20% of the normal attack ignores shield. So very, very cool. The power of normal attack is increased another 5, going to 250. When using normal attack, you additionally target the enemy with the smallest angle. And for every 4 normal attacks, he will call down draconic flames to bombard the target. That again could really speak to his damage. Now, of course, the furniture, every 3 normal attack he uses, all draconic flames will launch a fireball at a target. Flaming magical circles can protect Hildwin when he takes fatal damage. He becomes immune to that strike and teleports to the flaming circle, which again, that could be pretty situational. And then, of course, this is the plus 30, this is the plus 60 like we have seen in the back. But let's see what he looks like. I'm not going to go ahead and try him out. I just want to see what he looks like in combat. And so the flaming circles are the entire battle. Look at the dragon, guys. That is a brutal red dragon in all three of those fireballs. Holy cow. So all three of those circles are essentially shooting fireballs. So they are going everywhere. Wow. That is just broken. But wait, there's 4 more of these, guys. This is crazy. So with Gwen, the Crystal Breath shapeshifts, knocking down surrounding enemies and dealing damage. In Scale Manifest, she flies over the friendly half of the battlefield, unleashing a fiery breath that deals multiple hits of Dragon Speak damage and triggering a crystallization storm that crystallizes all enemies. So this is going to be on the friendly half. While crystallized enemies are immobile and a haste is reduced during the crystallized storm, crystals cover the battlefield, slowing the movement speed of all entities, so your heroes as well. Enemies that touch the crystals interrupt them, inflicting damage on nearby enemies and crystallizing them. Each subsequent crystallized storm resets the crystal and then gathers energy at the start of battle. And I'm wondering if, yeah, gains 400 energy at the start of battle. After triggering a calamity for 6 seconds, the normal attack of allies deal additional damage for 160% of the Gwen's attack rating. Again, guys, it just seems like they are broken. Talk about an awakened hero. So suppressing fire, normal attacks between 2 hit combos that prioritize the same enemy. Each arrow inflicts damage for 170% of Gwen's attack rating, and upon impact, the arrow explodes, dealing crippling jets, 150% of the attack rating, and stunning them. So now, big crowd control factor there. Gwen's haste or attack speed won't affect her attack frequency or the focus time. They do enchant her attack rating. So the faster that she attacks, the more attack rating it is going to give her. Every point of haste increase her attack rating, and each point of attack speed increase the attack. So again, guys, any of the buffing heroes, if we can get her haste a lot higher, that's going to be awesome. Damage dealt by each arrow goes to 190, 210. For every point of haste, she gains attack rating to 0.8, and attack speed, the attack rating goes up 1.6. That's going to be insane to engrave this hero, I'm sure. Shattering arrows triggered once every 10 seconds, transforming normal attacks into shattering arrows. When focus on fires that piercing enemies, knocking them back along their way, dealing damage. If the arrow passes through any crystals, it detonates the crystal, supercharging the arrow, which again is kind of crazy. So 390 right there. Each time shattering arrow hits an enemy, the cooldown is reduced by 20%. Wow. Then each time the arrow hits an enemy, normal attack is increased by 20% the following 5 seconds. And of course, this is the engraving. This is the 60 engraving. We're going to need so much mats, so many materials to build these heroes up, guys. Gwen receives base damage from intelligence-based enemies. She becomes immune to that damage. And for the following 6 seconds, damage from intelligence-based enemies is reduced by 80%. PvP is going to be insane. This effect can be triggered 1 time every 12 seconds. She creates a realm of absolution around her, reducing damage from intelligence-based enemies to allies within the realm by 30%. 40% reduction. Then, of course, the 60 engraving reduces the interval for triggering the effect to 9 seconds. Gwen also gains immunity and damage reduction when non-intelligence enemies within the realm deal damage to her. That is crazy. The gemstone longbow. Arrows fired by suppression will also detonate crystals. Further Gwen is from the enemy goes up to 35%. When there are no enemies near, Gwendolyn gains 15 points of physical pierce, 20 insight, 75 accuracy. When a normal attack crits, crit block rating is going to be increased. And then when there are no enemies near, she gains, look at that, 30 points of physical pierce, 40 points of insight, 150 points of accuracy. Each time an enemy is crystallized, the crit rating is increased 2 points, crit damage amplification by 2 points, up to 15 times. Wow. Enemies in the crystallized state take 40% increased damage. If it's Dragon Speak damage, the damage is amplified to 60. Let's see what this dragon looks like, guys. We still have 3 more dragons. Got kind of like an aura around her. So very similar to Gwen. There we go. It is an ice dragon. Look at the amount of crystals, guys. They can't even walk onto the battlefield. And it is already up again. And I'm wondering if a hero like Khazard or someone would extend the duration. They are literally, they can't even walk onto the battlefield. Wow. Again, that is kind of crazy to see. All right, so let's see Nyla, which of course, this is our support hero. So she launches a giant bubble, captivating the nearest enemy and causing them to float for 6 seconds, prioritizing enemy heroes. During this time, they will lose 400 energy if they have more than 900. Breaking free from the bubble control instantly. She recovers 500 energy if the control fails. After breaking free from the bubble, the target cannot recover energy for 5 seconds. After breaking free, they're taking damage worth of 12% of the max health. So she is based on health, similar to what we see with Taylene. Bubble Funland. She conjures a bubble-filled playground on the battlefield for 20 seconds, reducing the tenacity of enemies within the area by 20 points. Multiple Bubble Funlands can exist at the same time. When an enemy escapes a giant bubble, it creates a Bubble Funland. This is going to be weird. A Bubble Maze. When an allied hero takes damage exceeding 8% of the maximum health, Nyla swings her staff, causing them to vanish and reappear in the furthest Bubble Funland. So she's going to crowd control them together as a support hero. The Bubble Funland erupts, dealing damage 360% of the attack rating. And of course, damage taken by allies within the Bubble Funland is reduced by 15%. If it's Nyla, the damage is reduced by 30. Then it does 25 and 50. So similar to Peanut. Upon entering the Bubble Funland, the allied hero immediately gains a bubble shield that will decay. And then the Menacing Bolt. When a hero suffers reduced movement speed, haste, or control effects, the inner power unleashes 1 bolt uncontrollably, which again, we just seen so much crowd control from Gwen that we could see in here. These bolts deal dragon speak damage, 220% of the ally attack rating, capped at 330. This can trigger 4 times every 1 second. And then, of course, this is the plus 60 for each 4 bolts. The Dragon Fury, the dragon speak damage to 360 of the attack rating, knocks them back to the edge of the battlefield, causing them to lose energy and be stunned. Start of battle, a bubble seed is planted in the ally with the lowest health. When the carrier takes damage exceeding 8%, the seed immediately transforms into a bubble shield that decays. Every 10 seconds, she'll plant another bubble shield. Beginning a battle, the bubble shield is planted in the enemy with the highest attack rating. When the carrier deals damage exceeding 8% of the max health, the bubble seed transforms into a giant bubble. So we got a lot of bubbles going on here, guys. Every 10 seconds, she plants another bubble seed. 50% increase healing and takes 50% less damage from allies and enemies carrying that bubble seed. If an enemy lingers in the Bubble Funland for more than 3 seconds, the Bubble Funland transforms into a giant bubble, controlling and suspending them. So again, crowd control aspect. For each instance of the damage dealt by allied heroes in the bubble seed, the attack power of Nyla's bolts permanently increases 2%. Wow, capped at 200%. Wow, that is a pretty big furniture ability. Let's see the bubbles here. All right, so there we go. So we got our Bubble Funland up right there, shooting very slow little bubbles. Here comes the ultimate ability, double Bubble Funland. And there we go. There's the crowd control. So they can't do anything. 6 seconds, they just sit there until they essentially drop out. And look, now we have them under allied as well. That's the ultimate ability. So there's no dragon form for these ones. Yeah, so that is the crowd control aspect. Yeah, I mean, these are Ascended 5-star heroes. So here is Pulin, which of course is our ranger. After you enter the state of Dragon Fury, boost her attack rating. So it is a girl, her attack rating by 35%, haste by 20 points. This state cannot be dispelled. Instantly teleports the enemy with the most energy, dealing multi-hit damage for 300 attack rating, knocking them in the air, temporarily stunning them. While the skill is in effect, she is invincible and untargetable. That is awesome. Once she successfully knocks an enemy into the air, they enter a floating state. They cannot be launched again while floating. After the ultimate is cast, it cannot be cast for 3 more seconds. It does not include ultimate triggers by rapid counter skill, which we're going to have to look at and see exactly what that is. Enemies won't lose their energy. They won't recover any for 6 seconds. Will lose their energy and won't recover. So they're literally taking all of the energy. At the start of the battle, Polina unleashes the ultimate skill without consuming energy. So she can ult immune untargetable at the start of battle. Wow. Permanently gains 2 points of haste for every ultimate use, can stack up to 20 points. Then it goes to 3 haste. While in the state of Dragon Fury, she recovers 50 additional energy. If she kills a target while the state of Dragon Fury, the duration of the state is extended by 5 seconds. That kind of seems crazy as an attacker. When Polina takes damage or health loss from enemies directly in front of her, she becomes immune to that damage and retaliates immediately with an attack, dealing damage for 200% of the attack rating once every 11 seconds. Additionally, the skill stuns the enemy. She is invincible and untargetable while the skill is active. Skill triggers once every 8 seconds. Then, of course, the plus 30 signature item that hits the skill deals 80% less damage to Polina for 12 seconds. Wow. And then Stormy Assault. All right, so there's a passive ability. If her ultimate knocks the target in the air, it triggers the skill Stormy Assault. If Polina knocks an enemy in the air with rapid counter and her energy is no less than 30%, it will trigger an ultimate that consumes all of her energy to deal no less than 40% damage of the ultimate ability. Before triggering the skill Stormy Assault, when the skill Stormy Assault is triggered, it deals multiple hits of 150% damage or 150% of the attack rating before finally knocking down the enemy, dealing 350% attack rating, stunning them for 4 seconds, and again, invincible and untargetable. Multi-hit is increased to 200. The ultimate triggered by the skill gains 50% increase in power. When it deals damage, additionally, Dragon Speak damage will be 250% of the attack rating. Now she converts 25% of damage to floating targets into health. She's going to have the ability to sustain herself. 35% gains 50 additional energy if she is unable to successfully knock enemies in the air, which of course would be bosses. 100 energy if she can't knock them in the air. And each time she knocks an enemy in the air, she steals 45% defense rating. That's pretty strong as well. For every point of haste she gains, the insight is permanently increased by 2 up to 40. When she knocks them in the air, she gains 20 points of physical pierce, and her Dragon Speak damage is increased to 60% for 7 seconds. That is a pretty tough rogue, guys. Here she comes right into the battle. Wow. Yeah, so that is the ultimate ability. She is going to be all over the battlefield. But that is very, very cool. Again, doesn't turn into a dragon like we've seen. And the final one is our tank. So it is a double tank, guys. And it's an intelligence-based tank. This, again, it could be very interesting. So as Cassius Scroll spins and rises behind him, it embeds into the ground, marking an area where an allied are clustered, activating equilibrium. This area primarily covers himself and lasts for 8 seconds. Allies within the range are granted 20% damage reduction and 20 points of buffer. So he is giving buffer. Well, Cassius himself is granted 50% damage reduction, 50 points of buffer. During the equilibrium, allies within the realm recover health at 2% of the maximum health. He recovers 5%. For every 4 seconds enemies are in there, they are afflicted with 1 stack of indecision. We're going to have to see what that one is. Diplomatic maneuver. When he takes fatal damage, he avoids damage, taking the damage, and remains immune to subsequent damage for 2 seconds. Enemies within the range of Cassius immediately stop fighting for 4 seconds, during which Cassius recovers 10% of the max health per second. Skill can be triggered once every 15 seconds. He has a cheat death every 15 seconds. That is kind of crazy. For a given period, Cassius' health recovery per second is increased to 15. Duration goes to 6 seconds from 4. After the period ends, enemies within the range are inflicted with 1 stack of indecision. We're going to have to see what this indecision is. Cassius lectures and taunts enemies in the half of the field for 3 seconds. Enemies who are taunted deal 30% less damage to him and are inflicted with 1 stack of indecision for 6 seconds, lowering their accuracy and insight with each stack. If the same enemy has reached 3 stacks, they cannot add any more stacks, and the duration of the indecision will not be refreshed. During the taunting goes to 6 seconds. Each stack of indecision goes to 30 points of accuracy and insight. Then, of course, the plus 30 signature item. When enemies have 3 stacks, they're unable to cast their skills. That is pretty cool. Dragon defense. With each hit of damage, Cassius permanently increases his healing received by 1 point up to 30 points and boosts his max health up to a 30% max. That's pretty big. And then each hit of damage, the healing goes to 2 up to a 60% max when taking damage if Cassius' maximum health exceeds that of the enemy. Excessive health worth 1% of the enemy's max health. Additional 1% damage reduction. It gets a 60% damage reduction in there. And then, of course, the 60. When he takes damage, but he triggers Dragon's Might, dealing Dragon Speak damage. 20% of the max health to the enemies who are inflicted the damage and stunning them. This effect can be triggered once every 4 seconds. So he has another crowd control in there. The Eternal Scroll. For every surviving ally on the battlefield, he gains 3 damage reduction. Then it goes to 5 damage reduction. Increase the normal attack range, dealing damage for 2% of the max health, 4% of the max health. Increase the damage dealt to enemies inflicted with indecision by 40%. If it is Dragon Speak damage, it is amplified to 80%. That is kind of crazy. When the equilibrium ends, allies within the area immediately gain 200 energy and haste and 20 haste for 3 seconds. Enemies within the range of equilibrium area have their haste negated and their energy recovery rate reduced to 70. So that is pretty big with that 3 of 9 furniture in there. And let's see what our tank looks like. So there he is. All right, so going toe-to-toe. There we go. So I believe that is going to be the debuff that he has in there. And he's got a big aura. Wow. Yeah, so they are stacking. We're going to have to see what the damage factor for him looks like, because that is kind of crazy, guys. But that, again, that is the 5 new dragons. Then, of course, this is the little guy we got. Unfortunately, we didn't have any luck with the summons in there. But yeah, they're going to be just leveled up. And I'm going to go ahead and use these just like a regular hero and see what we can do in battle, because that takes to max level 140. Resident Crystal, I think I can go ahead and level this up. I'm wondering are they in here as well? I'm just wondering if we have to drop them in here as well with our dragon, which we do. There we go. They're going to have to go on the Resonating Crystal to get that 501. So looking at my heroes, there we go. Again, we're going to have to add some information in here. We can do the Resonant hero will switch to enhance for all heroes. And then, of course, yeah, signature item, mythic, furniture. So everything's going to be very similar to when it comes to our normal heroes. But I want to hop back in here and see what the battle looks like. Sanctuary, there we go. We get 4 more for leveling her up. Seems like it takes quite a few to get the full piece in here. We're kind of partially going in there. Let's see these Dragon Forward trials. So Dragon Horn, there we go. So we get a couple of bonuses in there. And this is going to, of course, level up the heroes that are not dragons. That is what so maximum level goes to, what, 480 to 490. Go ahead and get some furniture on here. Or excuse me, some signature items. So yeah, that gives everyone a signature item, so they're not going to be so basic anymore. Then, of course, if we put a dragon in here, that's going to make a big difference. Now, of course, we're over on the test server, guys. This is an account that I really do not play really at all anymore. And you can see all of these heroes are very, very basic because of the build, because of how they are over here. Or because of this ability. So we actually do have to level them up quite a bit to get them to actually win. So let's see. So you don't even see the battle. This is just going to run through here. And there we go. It does have that timer on the top. So it gave me a thumbs up right there. There we go. So we got 39 points. So not enough to go through there. We didn't kill him essentially quick enough. There we go. Rare Draconis cards. We get some more loot out of there. And then, of course, we get some Dragon Scrolls. Go ahead and build those out. So level 1, we did get some Dragon Stamps. and some threat emblems in there. And I think we just have to build, or we have to kill them out a little bit faster in there. But again, that gave us 2 of 3. So we're going to be able to level this up. And even I wonder if, I don't see anywhere that, I don't see anywhere that says we can't just literally keep doing this kind of over and over and over again. First 3-star reward is going to give us some threat emblems in there. Yeah, so we're going to have to come up with a pretty solid team. Go ahead and prepare for battle. And I wonder if, yeah, see, you get them at the basic level that you're running at. So even here, looking at the Ascended, so once we get the YouTube account up, even though they're not going to be fully built, we're going to have the ability to have a lot of different heroes kind of built in here. And again, some of the heroes that I have, just again, test server is kind of basic. So we can get the SP effects in there as well. Again, I don't think this is going to be super difficult to get through once we do get them built up a little bit. And there we go. Now it only took 3. There we go. So we got a new record. We got some more battle points. Our rewards will be calculated. Oh, so this, we have to wait till this is done. So this resets in 2 days. These are going to give us all the rewards after we get through here. So hopefully we can get through all 10 floors in there. And then that'll make a really big difference, of course, in here. There, it gave us more of those too. Boom, 2 more. Get some more of our attributes. And again, remember, this is going to affect everybody. That is right. It was everybody in there that this was affecting. Let's go ahead and look at the new beast as well. Again, I know there's so much in here. We're already going on like 45 minutes, but let's look at the new beast, which is right here. So it is a dragonling beast. Start of battle, follows the allied hero with the highest attack rating, increasing their buffer and damage caused by normal attack. When the following hero uses a normal attack, performs a joint attack emitting a sonic breath. When using this active, unleashes a cyclone on the densest cluster of enemy heroes that last 2 seconds. Each second it deals damage to the enemy within range, drawing them towards the center. So again, a little bit of movement right there. Every time they use a normal attack, gains beast energy. Joint attack enemies hit are inflicted with resonance. For the duration of the effect, the enemy takes damage. Let's expand this out. For 3 seconds, the duration of the effect goes to 250%. Increases the hero's attack rating by 30%. Normal attack speed by 30 points. I'm thinking like the awakened version of Lucius. That is very, very broken. Range of the cyclone is increased and its duration significantly increased to 4 seconds. During the cyclone's duration, enemies within the range cannot cast their ultimate, which is kind of crazy in there. And the enemy within the range lose 30 haste while the cyclone is there, lasting that time. Joint attacks reduce the target's energy by 100 points. Joint attack decreases the target's energy recovery rating by 10% for 8 seconds. And then the longer follows the hero, the higher the approval of them. Every 5 seconds, increasing the following. The followed hero's attack rating by 10% and normal attack by 10 times, buffing 3 times. This is going to be a major support beast. Wow. That is going to be crazy. Now, I believe, again, I think we have another one. Yeah, the Sand Swap Rescue, which is going to be up in here. And I'm thinking it is just going to be, yeah, for the new beast. It's all going to be around the new beast, going to be the regular out of there. But guys, that is going to do it for an absolute game-changing, massive patch to AFK Arena. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.